Hi, I'm Alex Bonadonna, and welcome to another rig rundown. But in this video, I'm just focusing on this, my 2023 Gibson Les Paul Access Custom. I got this guitar back in August when I was over at the Gibson Garage. So this summer I really wanted to go to Nashville just to visit that store. I've watched countless videos about it, and the second you walk inside, you see a big Gibson sign and you see the conveyor belt of guitars, and that was something super cool to see, especially when you recognize some of those guitars you see up there that are pretty rare as well. So I'm walking around the store, which was super surreal for me because seeing so many videos, I already knew where everything was. And on the wall, I see this guitar, and as I walk past it, I see the little swoop in the back of it, and I go, oh my God, that's a Les Paul Access Custom, a guitar I've been looking for years. And that was just really cool to see. And maybe just from such a long drive there, I was tired and I was like, I don't need to play it. It's just really cool to see. So the store closed, but we said we're gonna be there the next day because we wanna stay for a while. Going to Nashville was super amazing, getting to go see Broadway Street with all the bars. You walk 10 feet, you hear one band, you look that way, hear another band, you look up, hear another band. You know, it's so many bands in this street. And then seeing the IndyCar race there, which was another amazing added bonus. So we come back the next day, and I just said to my dad, I just gotta play it. I gotta know what it feels like. I wanna know, because when my band would go play in Kentucky or go play somewhere in Ohio, I'd call every store in the area, almost every store on the East Coast of the United States, and looking for a Les Paul Access Custom. And they're so rare because they come out of the Gibson Custom Shop, which don't make as much guitars as the Gibson USA just because they're handmade. So I walk up to the front of the store and I'm like, okay, which one of these two guys is gonna let me play this guitar? Because all the guitars in the store are locked right here, and you gotta go ask someone to unlock it for you because they're all, you know, so pristine and, you know, such high-end, you know, guitars. So I asked a man named Patrick Green if he could unlock this guitar for me, and he was super nice. He goes, oh yeah, sure, no problem, man. And as we're walking over, I say, by the way, I have a 1974 Les Paul Custom 20th anniversary at home, so I know how to handle these things, so you could trust me, because to them I'm just some kid. And he goes, oh, that's awesome, because he's a huge Randy Rhoads fan. So we're talking guitars and, you know, the stuff we really like. And I feel so bad for Patrick because for that hour and a half, I was, you know, yapping his ear off about, you know, all the stuff I like guitar-wise and the models I like. You could only imagine the amount of tourists that go into that store who don't really know much about guitar, but from minute number one when I first met him, he was super nice, super approachable, and, you know, you could ask to try out the most expensive guitar in that store and he would gladly let you try anything. And that was something I thought that was super cool. That store wants you to play, that store wants you to find your dream guitar, and it was just an amazing thing to meet someone as amazing as he was. So he unlocks it, I grab it, and I'm instantly like, whoa, this is super light. And we plug it in, and I just started playing it. And the first song I played on this was called Cigarettes and Alcohol by Oasis, and this is what it sounds like. And me and Patrick are just loving it. And I talk to him and I say, I know the Gibson website in and out. And I say, I have not seen a Les Paul Access Custom in this color. So, and I know it's not a production model. And he goes, well, no, because it's part of the Gibson made to measure program, which means there's only one of these in the world. And it's mine. And it's such an amazing thing to say, because, you know, my name is on that truss rod cover and only one of these out there, and I'm just so proud to say that it's mine, and because it's really cool to say. So I'm playing it some more, and I'm like, geez, this is a hefty price tag. How am I gonna convince my dad to buy this? So he and my sister and my mom walk over and I'm just playing it, and it's like it's floating. I'm loving it so much. I can't stop playing it. And I just said, Dad, it's amazing. And I told him all about it, and he doesn't understand the specs, but it's okay. And all the time he would say, if you ever find an Access Custom, you can buy it. And he would say it jokingly because he never thought I would find one, but I did find one. So then I said, Dad, I can't leave this store or this country without it. And I saw a tear going down his eye because he just knew that it had to be bought. And this guitar is a hefty dollars, ladies and gentlemen. Let me repeat that one more time. Dollars. So I told my dad, I'm buying it, and he goes, yes, you are. And me and Patrick took these amazing pictures, just smiling with it and pointing out all the specs about it. And we put it through this big old Mesa Boogie amp that sounded great. And it was just such an awesome experience to be in the place where it was designed, and then you bring it home with you as well. And I remember we took a bunch of pictures of me holding the guitar, and I've said to my dad so many times, I say, I can't really smile. I'm kind of just like, in pictures, right? But when I held it up, I was ear to ear. I go, that's how you smile right there. And I was just so happy to buy it and just know that I get to play this thing for the rest of my life. I'm excited the next 10 to 20 years when the whole paint is checking and stuff like that, and say, hey, I did that, because I've played this nonstop since I got it. So I'll get into more of the specs of it. This guitar is in sparkle blue, or sparkle blue finish, what it's called, and there's some things that make it slightly different compared to the production Les Paul Access Custom in Bango Burst. The first thing, let's go through the electronics. So they have the custom buckers, and it's nickel instead of gold, right? And that looks much better with the blue. Patrick had told me that there's the custom buckers in it instead of the 490R and 498T that's in the normal Bango Burst. And for that just made me super excited, because that gives you the old 1950s Gibson sound, these pickups. And he's like, man, just in case you don't like these pickups, if you ever wanted to swap them out for those other ones, we would gladly do that. And then we're like, we're going around, he's like, so you like the speed knobs? We could swap them out for another if you like. And I'm like, no, it's awesome. So they were super accommodating. And then the best part about this guitar is it's modern, but it has the ABR1 bridge. So it's, you're getting the best bridge ever, in my opinion. And when it comes to the speed knobs, the tone controls have push-pull, so there's so much versatility in this guitar. You can get the P90 sounds out of this, and there's just so many tonal options when you have that. So then moving on to the neck isn't too big, it's not too small, it's more of a rounder, slim C. And then the fretboard is mahogany, and what's great about this is there's a brown streak going up it, so it's very unique. And instead of the mother of pearl inlays and the diamond, whoever custom ordered this chose abalone inlays, which is just beautiful. It just screams at you when a light is pointed at it, and I just love him choosing that because it looks great. And with any custom, you'll get the amazing custom binding. So that runs all around the front and on the fretboard and then over the frets, which is just so beautiful. There's nothing scratches you, obviously. It's just so comfortable. It's on the headstock as well. But then because there's a cutaway and the access heel joint on the back, which makes it extremely comfortable to play, there's no binding on the back, which is a nice touch for the Access Customs. And speaking of it being modern with the belly cut, the heel, and on the headstock, they call it the Rhino horn, which is one of the names for it, because in 2018 they had a Les Paul Access Custom in a silver color. And there's also 9 holes in the mahogany that make it very light, so it's weight relief. And they did that for a very long time. They don't do it as much anymore on the normal standards, but I'm so happy they have it on here, because when you play this for 3 hours compared to this for 3 hours, your shoulder will thank you when you use this one instead. On the headstock, we got the Grover Keystone tuners, which are the most beautiful tuner ever made. I always wanted that shape because it looks like little headstocks on it, and it's really nice. And then on the truss rod cover, it has my name on it, which is just super cool to have. And yeah, that's about everything about this guitar. And I like how the switch tip is cream, so that just pops with the binding. And it's just an amazing guitar, and I'm so thankful to have it, and I'm so excited to show you what it sounds like. So when I say push-pull, what I mean is when I pull the tone knob for the bridge up, it activates it to go into its P90 more single coil sound. And if I do the same for the neck tone, it will do the same for the neck. And doing this, you can mix match so many different tones, and this is what you can do with it. So this is me on the bridge and with the push-pull up in P90 mode on the bridge. Okay, this is the middle pickup, but it has the push-pull on for only the bridge, and we still have the full humbucker for the neck. So this is just showing how many different combinations we could make. So this is what this would sound like. And this is what it sounds like when both push-pulls are up, so both pickups are now in their single coil sounding modes. So why would you want that P90 sound? Well, it gives you that jangly effect that, you know, humbuckers can't give you. So just to have so much versatility in one guitar is really important to have. hear how it's very P90 single coil-esque, that you would be looking for in a guitar to give it the most versatile sounds possible. And when you put a P90 in some distortion, it gives you that real squawky sound. And this is for Patrick. I asked Patrick, I said, is there any way that I could see the Gibson vault? And when I said that, I actually didn't know that it's not open to the public, you know? And I think just from us being all the way from Canada, and you know, from me buying this guitar, dollars. He said, let me go ask my manager if you guys can pop in for, you know, 10 minutes. And he comes back and his manager said, yeah, you can in 10 minutes because they got to film something. So we get to go in and we get to go see the Gibson vault behind the bookshelf. And inside this room is, you know, a 1960 Les Paul Burst staring at you right in the face. That's $500,000 or something, I don't know. And then next to it, it has a 1958 Explorer, one of 18 or 19, I don't remember. And then next to that, it had a 58 Carina Flying V, which is one of 81. And you know, that's just, it was as amazing to see. And we took a bunch of pictures there. In the vault, one of the coolest moments was when Patrick opened a drawer and he picked up one of the first Les Paul blanks. So one of the first prototype that Les Paul himself designed, and I got to hold it, and that was just really cool to see because you see a bunch of pencil marks of all like measurements and stuff like that. And you know, there's the Les Paul body right there. Walking out that store, just feeling so just giddy the rest of the vacation. It was just so amazing. Just such great hospitality. They're super accommodating, and I can't thank the Gibson Garage and him enough for that amazing experience. I'll never forget it. So anyway, later that night, and I see this tall guy who's carrying an amp and a guitar, and I instantly recognized him, and I just yelled, "John Bollinger!" And if you don't know who that is the one of the guys at Premier Guitar, and he's done so much guitar work through the years. That's just been really amazing. And John Bollinger, he goes to you know, a bunch of bands' rigs, and he, you know, asks them about their guitars, and that's where the name Rig Rundown is from. And he's the reason, you know, I love doing these videos so much. And so we stop at the street. I say, "John Bollinger." I shake his hand and I go, "It's an honor to meet you." And then he's like, "Do you play guitar?" And I go, "Yeah." And he pulls out a 52 Gold Top out of his case, and he's like, "Here, let's take a picture with this." So I took a really cool picture with him with that, and then you know, that was just super cool. You know, someone, you know, it's like meeting a celebrity. And then my dad said, "What if he's? I wonder where he's playing tonight." So we go to his Instagram, and he was playing at a bar called The Second Fiddle with his band, and we got to watch him. And right as we're leaving, my dad was like, "Give him one of your Leave Those Kids Alone pics with your name on it." So my dad gives it to him, and then the singer of the band says, "Does he play guitar?" And my dad was like, "Yes." So they ended up bringing me up to play Pride and Joy with the band, and I was, you know, playing a 52, you know, Gibson was just amazing. That was really fun. So then we're done. I give John his guitar back, shake his hand, and that was just, Nashville was such an amazing trip. I loved every second of it.
Come on, play that guitar.